morning. Good morning. How are you doing today, guys? Just chill Thursday morning. We're gonna do some more levels. We're gonna make them. Search into the depths of our minds, our creativity. We got 24 levels left to make. We've been making a whole bunch over the past month. 85% of the way there. Only 15% left to go. So, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a few more. And maybe do some coding updates. We'll see. This is Switch Ball Deluxe. This is the first time you've ever seen it. I've disabled the music. We have some chill acoustic music to start the day. So, if you would like an overview of what this game is, in a few lines, it is a game where you're trying to destroy all the energy bricks on screen as quickly as possible to proceed through the adventure of different types of power plants, making your way from fossil fuels through windmills, solar, hydropower, nuclear energy, biofuels, and geothermal. And then you get into the sci-fi of antimatter and wormholes. And finally, an Omega, the final plant, if you want to call it. Which is probably a good term for it. An Omega plant, which basically does all of them at once. And in adventure mode, you're kind of going through each world, and as you progress through levels, you unlock the next ones. In gauntlet mode, you have to beat all of them without losing, or by using bonus time that you earn. So that's a different mode. But right now, what we're trying to do is just create all the levels in each world. There's 16 in each world. 10 worlds, that's 160. And we got 24 left to go. Now, once the levels are all made, we need to define what times make it a D rank, C rank, etc. So that'll be part 2, is playtesting and figuring out those times. So that's not trivial, but it's a different process. And that's something that we can also have playtesters for. So I'm not going to be doing all that on my own. Now, we can take a look and see which worlds have levels that we need to still beat. Well, if I just go to, say, nuclear, and I go to the end here, the ones that don't have names are the ones that we need to make. I also have a little shorthand list in Excel we'll be referring to, showing each of the worlds and how many levels left to make out of 160. So we got 3 in solar, 3 in nuclear, 3 in wormholes, 8 in Omega, we're halfway there, and then a couple throughout. So let's go ahead and we'll choose 3 to do today. And then if we have time, we'll do a 4th, or there's a possibility we'll be diving into the code a little bit as well. So how about we finish the hydropower world? We'll do 1 hydro level, we'll do 1 solar level, and then we'll do an Omega. And if we still have time, like I said, we'll expand out a little bit today. So I'm going to open up my quests. Ooh, it's huge. And let's add the levels that we're going to do today. I'll do 1 solar, 1 hydro, and 1 Omega. That's the goal for today. I'll just leave it right in the middle of the screen. Woo! put that to the side. So that's what we're going to be doing. So as we're going to be starting on solar, solar has to do with lights and how lights can destroy bricks to make a path. So this is a nice introductory level called Dynamite, where we have lights here, building a path. This is a level that is basically only one way to beat it. It's pretty rare in this game for you to have a level that is just basically one way to beat it. But some of the intro levels are like that, where it's kind of just one way to beat it. Kind of like, we have a couple levels here for lights. It's kind of showing the level. This is another one showing, hey, if you have blue and yellow, they make green. And that's pretty cool. There you go. So that's lights. And lights can be used in a lot of interesting ways, especially with other mechanics. But here, we're largely going to be doing it on its own. And at this point in time, we only have rotation bricks. So if we go to our levels here, let's see what we've already done. We did Dynamite Addition, Icicles, which is fun, swapping back and forth. What else have we done? Our Garble Grid, kind of unlocking parts. It's a speed level. This one's called Depth. It's got an interesting puzzle mechanic to it for how you want to do it quickly. We have our little buoy bots. Little robots in the ocean, little buoys. Infiltration. This is a dexterity puzzle level. It's all around us. We have some rotation here. Lights around the edges. This one is... Oh, this one doesn't work. Wait, did I... I think I marked that down, right? That's one of the three that doesn't work. Yeah. Morse code. In progress, yeah. So the Morse code doesn't really work. We might just fix that. We have a jack-o'-lantern. Another speed level. This is a rotation level. Not a sponsor. Made this one. Another one with stuff around the edges, which is kind of tricky. Made a picket fence. Has some rotation in there as traps. And we did a layers level, but with lights and rotation, called Light Years, which is a tricky level. And that's what we got. We have yet to do the boss. The 15th level, which when we're making these, they don't necessarily need to be in any given order. But and we need to fix Morse code. I still think Morse code could be an interesting idea. Someone had a idea in one stream where I was doing this, where they're like, "Oh, there could be like a secret if like you have Morse code in different levels and you put in a code somewhere." I think we were playing UFO 50 every other stream too, so some of those ideas went in our mind. This idea of like a console, but I think what I did here in Morse code is I believe this says Morse code. is what these yellow are. It doesn't do anything with lights, so we can put that in the back of our minds. But right now, let's just clear this out and let's come up with another idea. Which, after looking at all those levels, we have a bunch, of course, later that use light in interesting ways. But this idea of layering lights and trying to get from one location to another is something I don't think we do in this first world where we introduce them. So if I can think of, if we think of an idea for this level, let's use red. This idea of having to penetrate through different layers, either sideways or down, in order to get to the end. So if I need to penetrate through this layer, maybe I have a light or something. We're just sketching. This is art, some art. So for example, maybe this light shines down here to get through this. We get through this layer, now you need to get through this way. Give me a light shining maybe like that way to get this way. And then you got to get over here. Maybe that goes up kind of this way, and then we go over here, we go to the right to go down to the left. So maybe it's like use a different color. We're going to go down this way. We're going to go to the right, up, and like this. It's kind of our direction. So can we create a level using lights where essentially you're plowing a path kind of through this, and maybe there's a tricky way in order to cheese it or do it in a skillful manner to do it quicker. Kind of like that idea. So this is our general idea for a level. So whenever I'm creating levels in a game, I've made a bajillion of them in this one now. And by a bajillion, I mean over 100. Already 136 of them made, 24 to go. There's a few ways of making levels in game. One, you can kind of sketch it out. This is kind of my sketch right now. Sometimes you can just do the Jimmy Neutron think, and then like you have a brain blast idea and you kind of just throw it down on paper. Other times you're trying to do a very specific thing, like doing pixel art or a specific type of puzzle or design. Often I like using symmetry, especially because this is a brick breaker-esque where you have a limited space. So often symmetry, when you first see a level, gives you an idea of what to do. And it makes it less intimidating. But here, this is the idea. We're going to use the lights and go around like that. So let's do it. So first, we're going to need some sort of color. So we have to think, are these barriers something that are going to be one color that we're going to try to combo out of? Or are they going to be neutral bricks? So for now, let's make them a color brick. And we'll kind of have paths you're plowing through. So I'm going to do this. Like this. Okay. So you might see something like that, and that's because down here, well, one that goes like this. That'll eventually shoot up and destroy these. Now over here, we'll create one like that. Now naturally if this shoots this, you can't even get in there right now. So actually we want to do this. Right now we're just going to be spitballing all around the level. Bop, 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 bop. Boop. Yeah. Zoopa 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 zoop. Doopa doopa doop. Right now this is like nothing. Right now this level is nothing. I think what we're gonna need is the ability to break it, of course. Like that. Okay. Now we're getting a sense of it, I think. Wait, what makes it orange? Yellow. I need this to be yellow. Because red and blue don't make orange. I know how to do this. Wait a second. Need to change these to yellow. There we are. Alright, so basically you can go through the lower part or the upper part right now. And then eventually you need to destroy these orange bricks. You might be able to do the combo. So if I just put some of this stuff like that. You could theoretically build up a combo. This is there's some stuff going on here. But to get this one, you would have to go this way to go bop 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 bop. But then you could go bop bop bop. I think that almost just works as is. Maybe you don't want these lights here. I was thinking of a way to get these. If I go like that, this one can only get hit by that. So if you wanted to come back here, I guess theoretically you could do that. Maybe make it centered. The essence of the orange here is that can you get a great enough combo to even hit that? I think the answer is probably no. Maybe. If you go like that. Da, 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 da. Kind of gave this some breathing room. But in order to get these red bricks, don't you need to be able to hit that light? Which I guess you'd have to come over here. Maybe you could blast it? I think I want to do this, though. Alright, that's a funky level right there. Now to start off, there really isn't any decision other than potentially going over here or just going down. Which maybe would make it more interesting if I put another light down here then. Like that. And then made this quicker. I mean, that's a level. It's definitely not Morse code anymore. It's 41. Let's see what happens. All right, so the first time I'm going to go down to here. I'm going to go bop, 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 and then do this part last. You kind of need to do this intersection at some point. See what happens. So what if I go boop? Oh, dope. Some of those bricks are rotated. Now if I ignore the lights to the left, I can then do that into that one. Oh, oppa. Then I can do that. Oh. Wait. Wait for it. Wait, how do I get over there? Oh, I need to do that at the beginning. Oh. Oh, no, I need... Yeah, I did it. Wait. There are no other bricks. Am I blind? Wait, why didn't the level end? Wait, there are no other bricks. This hasn't happened before. Did I accidentally click and add a brick like outside of the scope of the screen? Uh-oh. All right, we're going to do something we never do. Look away. Wait, does this not work anymore? Uh-oh. That's not good. There could be a brick outside of this area, but right now the camera's not working. I press C, it doesn't turn on. I think I disabled it. Or I accidentally unenabled it at some point. Crap. What do I do? Why isn't it working? Let's do a quick, little quick look-see in the old code, huh? We're gonna do a quick little look-see. See if I can share this. That work? Waiting. Nope. There you go. Done. Show it. Show it on screen. Come on. No? Nani? Nani? Well then. I don't know why that's not working. Should be showing. Do. That's weird. Alright, we're just gonna do a quick look-see. I'm gonna do a quick look-see in the code. Content. One sec. That works. Why isn't showing the code base work? I mean, I'll just redo it. I just have to add a new thingy. Window capture. Capture the window. There it is. All right, we're in. Whatever, I'll just make it in front of everything. I'll put it right there. It's fine. All right. So what we need to do is see why pressing C for the camera doesn't work. I think I disabled it at some point. We can look at our camera objects. So we have a few different camera objects. As you can kind of tell, in this game, you only ever really look at one screen. Now, this game is developed from an action platformer, so in the action platformer, you know, there's a moving camera and there's different screen transitions and things. So here it's static. I don't remember removing the camera, but I sort of vaguely recall at some point it breaking and me not caring. So let's see what we can do about it. We're gonna go in, scroll down here, and we can actually just search our solution for camera. We have a few different types of cameras. Some are actually an enemy, but we're looking for the actual camera class. We're gonna look at the editor camera. And right here, free camera. That's what we're looking for. For when I get free camera. So there should be something that starts out free camera. So let's just look for the play state of free camera. And do a control find on that. And we'll just do everywhere. Let's see here. No. Entities, level, here we go. Oh, no, this is just saying, hey, show a different view if it's in free camera mode, that's all good. Or am I actually setting it? This is setting up the button. Oh, here we go. Well, no, this is just saying if it's in free camera mode. Where am I actually setting the camera? That's doing the transform, a matrix transform. What? That's just the button. I thought it was in the core level. See, here I have these. These are for zoom, but these zoom states only really matter if you're in free camera mode. I haven't looked at this in like years. Like, maybe not that long, but you know, all of these things are just like, hey, what view are we in? That's just drawing the button. And we have the thing here, which says if I'm clicking on certain things, there's our help button. Hey, wait a second, this works, but that's when we click on it. It's gotta be in the level builder here. So if I go to help button here, this document, setting it up. So right here, if builder enable and clicked on it, it does a thing. If builder enable and clicked on the status button. And all these sorts of things that happen when you click on things. The adjusted mouse positions. How you put stuff in the level. Right here, this is it. If input handler, press keys C. And I'm not pressing down the left control key. Wonder why I put that in. What does that mean? Why would I not be putting down left control? Is that for like zooming? If the current play state is active playing, then do the free camera. Oh, it would only work if I'm doing active playing. Here, we're gonna put a little breakpoint here. So if I go like this, and now press C. All right, now we're in. There we go. All right. So you can see. Oh, there it was. There's our brick. Wait, it was hiding. It was hiding behind the timer. It just had one brick. But so you can zoom out. The illusion is lost. That's the play area. Woo! All right. So we had one little brick. And all we have to do is this. Boop. And it's fixed. And now, let me... Wait. I don't want to accidentally add something again. Oh, don't. I gotta remove this breakpoint. And now we're good. Also, these are rotated the wrong way. The ones on the left. Which is kind of funny that I can... It really looks different when you do that. You only notice it, though, when they're lit up. So, neutral, and we'll just put these in here. Alright. Now we're good. What a crazy code adventure that was. We found it! We found it. Alright, let's try this again. So you need to get that one to be red. And then this one goes pop. And then bam. And then this one can be yellow to hit that. Oh, and then those, oh wait, and those can't be yellow anymore. And then the red one needs to be, huh. What's the quick way of doing that? Alright, what if you scoot the boot in the middle? So instead you actually go through the middle instead of the bottom. And at the end, just get these ones with the lights. So we're going to ignore combo. And it's just going to go like, for all the combo that we missed. So we're going to go in here. And go. Come on. Perfect. We're going to get that. And then these, like that. Cool. Oh, I forgot to get the other one with red. My strategy. Bop. Wait, how do I get this one? Oh. Like that. Wait, there's another one? Oh, because it was orange. Oh my gosh. It's tricky. So I made this one orange in the middle, which means when I triggered this one to be red, these worked for red, but this was already orange, and red, it's not going to change it back to red if there's multiple shining on it. But I should theoretically just be able to go red, yellow, red. No, this one doesn't matter. Red, yellow, yellow. So it's going to be red on this light, red on this light, yellow on this light, yellow, yellow. Then red on this light, red on this light, red on this light. Yeah. So red. And then these are all yellow. That doesn't matter. And this one's going to be red. And then red. Red, red. And then I just got to get the rest of the ones here. Which make those ones kind of suck. Now these had a purpose at the beginning, but they kind of lost their purpose a little bit. I'm gonna do this though. That way these can be hit. Then we're gonna move these ones down here. Because then I can go bop bop. So go a little bit higher. That. All right. That's pretty good. I like the disconnect here of like the space, because like you could fill this with bricks. You don't need to. So it feels pretty good. All right, so we're gonna go red, red. Then this is yellow. That's yellow. And that one's red. Then we hit a couple of these just to get in here to go bop, and then over to bop, and then we can go yellow, bop, 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 bop. That one actually needs to be red. And then this one. Oh! This one is so cheesy. I wonder if there's a quick way to get it. If I did this one as red first, but the minute that I do this is yellow, this one turning red makes this orange. Interesting. Let me try to do it this way. Oh, no, I was on it. And then take it. No. Oh, come on. Dude, that was a lot faster. Boom. Oh yeah, yeah. No. And then I go over there. And then you just... I'm trapped. So you do all that. You come back to get the red one later. Oh, you can actually hit that one with red, though. Alright, I got it. So you go bam. Boom. And now we go boom, bam, bam. And now you can go boop. Scoop. Dope. Bam. And now you hit that. And then all you have to do is skip in my loo. Oh, 25 seconds. I even messed up. This is a good level. Alright, one more time, but I won't mess up. One more time. I won't mess up this time. For sure. For surely. And my name ain't Shirley. Nope, I messed up. S rank, S rank, S rank. You go over in here, and then you go bop, bop, bop. You go bop, you go boop, scoop, bam, and you go red, red, back to yellow, bam, that one, and now you just gotta race back. Less than 25. That's a good level. Took a little bit to get there. Alright, what are we going to call that? Definitely not Morse code. Let's think of a cool name for the cool thing. It's kind of like there's a dual paths. Secret pathway? Ooh, they'll think there's a secret. It's a secret. We're gonna call it secret pathway. The fastest is a secret. Okay. Da-da-da. We did it. We made a level. Back to our quests. We gotta make it bigger. Nyom. Nyom. Wah. Hey, alright. Bada bing. You know what I haven't done in a while is do a little screenshot for Twitter. Do a screenshot for Twitter of the cool. Wait, it has to say the right name though. Not, it shouldn't say Morse code. 1 second. We gotta start it. Black screen. Where is this thing? Secret pathway. Alright, start it up again. It's a secret. Did it work? No. There it is. Cool. There you go. Secret pathway. Whoa, so cool. Let's take a screenshot of this. Why does the edge have this white? Oh, that's just the background image. It's not completely aligned. Eh. Let's put the mouse down here. Where's my print screen button? Down here. Just do one of these. Do one of these for the camera. Good enough. Oh no. I got a... What's it called? You guys use Flux? Flux is on. Do I care? Nah. Wait, I'm not even in it. Oh, because I took a screenshot of that. So smart. I don't need my face, right? Maybe I should have my face in there. All right, we're gonna very quickly disable Flux. Now when I do this, it's gonna get real blue real quick. I think. I don't know what'll happen on stream. I'll just disable for just a second. Ah, blue light! Blue light! Can't see! Oh wow, that's bright. Oh my goodness. Yikes. Alright, we're gonna do one of these. Alright. And then we're gonna do this. Alright, just take... Alright, we gotta put back on Flux. Brutal. Ah. Can't see. If you guys don't have something to eliminate blue light on your monitors, I would highly suggest it. Alright, it's coming back on very slowly. I'm just gonna go like this. When I come back, it'll be all better, Lynn. Is it better? I think it's better. Yeah, it's better now. Alright, now we got to put our silly screenshot onto the world. As if we're not already in the world. Alright, bada bing. Now we gotta take our silly screenshot that we did. What? Where's my face? I went like this. Oh! I guess it changed it. Whatever. Copy. And we get a post. Newest level in Switch Ball Deluxe. What do you... what should we write? Many paths, more paths, more the fun. I'll just say things get tricky with lights, with solar power. And then are we gonna do one of those faces that go, ooh? Can I find them? Ooh. Nope. 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 Where is he at? Nope. Oh, there we go. Wait, we almost got it. Nope, that's a sick one. Astonished face. And we'll just throw in a game dev in there. Boom. Look at us. We did our duty. We posted it to our Twitter account. That wasn't just a short. Okay. Let's move on. So, Skibadoo. We made Secret Pathway. Now we're gonna make the final hydropower level. Hydropower has moving bricks. Now, out of all of the mechanics in the game, hydropower is the one with the most glitches. And the one that can probably be the most frustrating. Because moving bricks are hard. Because you're always moving. So when you have other stuff that's moving, and you're always moving, it's hard. But I introduced it early, because it's not used that often. And when it is used, we try to make it fun and not frustrating. Now we have dual rivers, shore, barriers, it's a feature, interlocking rainbow light, Audubon, slippery swirl. What is this one? This is one I did relatively recently. Oh. Oh, chase it. Uh-huh. That's the slippery swirl. And then each one has a color. Red. Yellow. Blue. Cyan. I need back my orange. Oh, green. Hey, dude. Blue. Oops, cyan. Orange. Orange. Alright, blue one. Come on, I hit it. Stupid glitched game. Hey! Might have to fix that at some point. Okay. Open for business. Simple level. That's the home. On cue. Oh yeah, this is the one with the lights. And they rotate it. This is kind of like a speed level. That was pretty cool. Shifting strata. That's a hard one. Little sailboat. It's cute. Churning chaos. Oh, this one's cool. This is a speed level. Wait for it. Can I get it? Can I get it? Hey! Pretty cool. Homage. And that's the breakout one, and we got our aquarium. So, we have some levels that are like an object moving through it. So, for example, our little sailboat. We have a home, except they're moving around the home. We have Autobahn, our cars in like a road. We have our boss, which are 3 different fishies moving. We have some that have to do with light, like rainbow light. This is just a fun chaos level. We have shifting strata, which is kind of a take on layers, actually. Which is a tricky one. And then we have some that kind of do a cool little simple thing. Like dual rivers is a nice way, just showing the bricks going back and forth. You have barriers. It's a feature. Yeah. On cue is the light one. Okay. I think I have an idea of what we got so far. This is a great music channel though, right? Just to chill out, some acoustic chill. Really enjoying it. Alright, so this is level 63. Cool. Alright. Let's get settled. I have to think of a new idea. Or 2. Or 3. Or 10. Little stretch. Dabba-dabba-dabba-doo. Scooby-Doo. Alright. That last level worked out really well. So, do we want this to be a hard or easy? Out of all we have some pretty challenging ones, some speed ones. Let's take a look at our list and check it twice and see who's been naughty or nice. So I've done 2 light and 2 rotate, and the rest just moving, which probably might be a little less than is expected, but I think it's okay. Definitely have some really hard ones. What do I want to do here? I honestly kind of want to change the animation, or add an animation. Oh, take some sprite sheet work. Maybe we do that after this. What have I not done with movement that I kind of want to do? This is where we need to go think. Okay, so in the first or second world, there's one called combo face, where you're creating like a face, and the eyes and the mouth can only be destroyed via combo. What if you had one where it was a face and the moving bricks were like the eyes shifting back and forth? So the eyes are like looking to the left and they're moving. That'd be kind of cool. So what we'll do is first draw the face. And then the eyes. So like, what if you just had really big eyes? You want to do some cartoon anime eyes? All right, we're gonna draw some eyes here. That. There we go. People are gonna love this one. Alright, so there are our eyes. And then we gotta draw the nose. So then the eyes themselves will be like this. And they're going to be moving back and forth. Oh wait, I can't use nuclear. I want to use nuclear. That's fine. So we're going to be doing them like this. And then they'll be moving back and forth. That's the level. What if you had little eyes inside the eyes that were also moving back and forth? Like, what if instead of big ol' eyes... Wait for it. You had these eyes, which are going back and forth. But they would also be going around. And maybe that's like the pupil. I don't know. I think it does need to be bigger. Alright, so now we need the tracks, which are going to be inside here. Like that. Just going to quickly check something. 1 second. Do 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 ba do ba da do ba da da do. Do do. Just doing a little checkaroonie. Ba ba. Do do do. Yeah. Okay. All right, back. So we're gonna make tracks. They're gonna go. I was just gonna have them look back and forth, but let's make them go around in a loop and see how disorienting that is. I think that could be funny. Oop. And we're gonna have these platforms. We're gonna make them cyan bricks. And they need to be on a platform. And we're gonna make these negative to start. So we're gonna put them like this. And I think these are gonna be well, first let's get rid of these. What number is this? 63. We'll make this what color? Orange is fine. How much orange do we have in Hydroland? Hydropowerland? Not very much. All right, it's fine. So you can make his whole face orange. Or if he's that, you're gonna try to. What if I do one of these? All right. So we got the face. That much is sure. Now how do we make it a level? Are we destroying the face? I think if there was enough in here that you have to avoid this as you go, it would be somewhat interesting. So like that. Is that in itself interesting? There might not be enough going on. What if you go like this? All right. Those aren't going to go in the right way originally. But let's try this out. Oh, they are going the right way. Or it doesn't really look like an eye. What if I just do this? That's better. Now, however, I don't think there's much in the way of danger here of hitting that. It's pretty easy to avoid. You know. Now you could make it so like they were wearing glasses or something like that. Maybe they were wearing blue glasses. Like a me. Like a these glasses. Ooh. Just call this one self-portrait. So then where would you get the blue? We need the blue on the rims. I mean, that works. Do you want anything down here? I don't think you need this down here. All right, let's just save that. Can I hold right and get this? I can, pretty easily. Oop, combo broken. Well, that's that's rude. There you go. You can have a element of it not working. Nope. It's simple. It's kind of fun. Doesn't need to be super complex. In order to destroy these bricks here on the left, you have to get the blue one as combo. Which I think is kind of cool. Yeah. I think we could do this in 20 seconds. You go bop, bop, bop. And then bop. Hold right. And you go here. Bam. Didn't mean to do that. No. My time. And then in here. Oop. No, I'm so slow. We're doing it. Why am I so slow? 46 seconds. Yay. I don't know, it works. Alright, apparently we're all done with acoustic chill music. Alright, we need music for art, because we're gonna do some art. We need a little bit of art break. Art. What do we got here? AI innovation, no. Closing credits. Sure. Tug on viewers' heartstrings with a soul string blend of indie folk, cinematic, and ambient music. They're poignant tracks for sentimental endings. Or for drawing. Alright, so this one's pretty good. Just leaving it at that. Okay. We're gonna name this one I'm watching. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. It is, I guess there's no way for it to get cyan, but there is cyan bricks in there. Okay. Cool. More than cool. That's our last hydro level. Let's go. Alright, we're going to take a little bit of an art break. Using GIMP. We're going to show GIMP here. We're going to close the game. I guess we don't need to close the game, but GIMP's going to take the screen. Okay, so what we want to do is do temporary art for our hydropower, which is going to be well, let me bring up the quests. We're going to say art. Art quest. Make water animation. Okay. Where's Gimpy? Oh, it's up there. There we go. This is our art quest. So, what we're going to do is currently we have tracks that moving bricks move on. Well, this is supposed to be hydropower. So that means they're supposed to be moving on like flowing water. Now, we're going to look at past sprite sheets and see if we can steal any animations before we attempt to draw an animation. So let's do that. I think I have something for water in an old sprite sheet, but I'm not sure. Let's see what we got. It would probably be in our animated sprite sheet. First ever on stream. Sneak peek. Alright, so here's an animated sprite sheet. This is for Blister Blight, which is the action platformer. We have a giant boat down at the bottom. And you might be asking, why are there all of these repeated? Because it was done in a silly way where each of these was actually a different frame. So it was easier to animate this huge object and have them be multiple frames rather than actually layer water on top of an object. But this was like a boat. It was used for a trailer. It actually wasn't in the game yet. Do we have any other animations here that have to do with water? Oh, we do. Right here. So this is actually the top of water. So when you would jump in and splash, these are little waves that are going up and down. But this would be like the top of water, not like looking down and see rivers. But it does give us an idea for how to do it. And over here is just a different color variation, purple. Here we see this was floating on water. It has like that hovering animation here. It's like a jet bike, which is pretty sweet. Very, very cool stuff in the home base for Blister Blight. A lot of cool animations. Like this animation here. The bubbles animation. A lot of cool stuff. So what I want to do is try to do something that's water. So it's going to look somewhat like this. You can also look at examples. You know, they have, you know, if you're doing like a waterfall, it's different. Here, it's not going to be apparent by looking at it what direction the bricks are moving, because every brick can move in a different direction based off of just how I want them to go, how they were placed, their speed. So the actual movement of the water shouldn't be looking like it's moving left or right. It should just be like, this is water. Which is sort of just like maybe a pulsing sort of water animation. But when we make an animation, we can turn on the grid. And you can see that this water animation was a 16 by 16. And that's what we're going to want here too. So to start, what we're going to do is take something like this 16 by 16. Is that 15 by 15? Yeah, 15 by 15. And we're just going to make it a little bit bigger. Because what are we actually using right now? Well, we're just using a static sprite sheet, which is going to be huge. I don't even know if I'll be able to find it right away. It's up here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, it's actually probably in platforms. Anyway, a lot of sprites going on here. Is it down here? No. Is it up here? You can see some of the switch ball. You can see the animations for each of the bricks. You can see the portal animations. It's a simple 3 animation. You can also see how simple the animation is for the explosions. These are just taken and then warped to different rectangles. Here are our lights. I think we have our tracks here. Yeah, they're right here. So if you zoom in, you can see that these are what the tracks are, and they were used for these. These were gears that would be running along the tracks. So this is what they were originally designed for, were platforms like this that you would stand on, like construction platforms. These gears would be moving, and they'd be going along these tracks. So what we want to do is we're going to be creating 3 different types of tracks: the end point, the middle, and the corner. And this is just for funds. We are going to have an actual artist do this, but we just need something temporary that says hydropower a little bit more than this. So, you know, when more people start playtesting it, it's easier to see the tracks because they're not going to be black and gray, which are kind of hard to see. And it'll at least give some semblance of, oh, that's water. So that's what we're going to do. So we don't even need to necessarily do an animation, but we can. We could do it on the animated sprite sheet if we want. And we could actually do it right below this because we have plenty of room underneath here. So let's do it. So I think we're going to do a simple 3-frame animation. At least try to do it relatively 3-frame. And we'll take what we have here and see if we can't make it happen. Now you can see here, this one actually has a blue border on it on the left. It's because this was like an end cap border. So why don't we take this animation, see at the top. It's pretty long, but it's kind of just a pulsing sprite. So we're going to take this. And we'll move it down here. And let's just make it even further away, just so we're segregating it. So what we want to do here is the bricks are going to be moving along this. So I'm going to raise this up. It shouldn't fit the whole 16 by 16 space, but it can fit like part of it. Like that. Then why don't we just flip it? So we're going to paste it again. And then we'll do a little transform, and we will just flip vertically. This could be the bottom part. And we can make it a little bit thicker. Like that. And then in the middle here, we can just fill in the gap. So let's take that. And there you go. Now, if we wanted a more complex animation, we could do that for the whole thing. And we can also refer to that. Because here, right now, this will kind of pulse in and out, which is kind of what we want to do. So let's go ahead and just use the whole thing, because we already have that defined somewhere as an object. So we'll just take the whole animation. And we'll move it down here. like that. I'll take it again. It's just a layer flip. You can decide how thick we want it to be. I think that's a little bit thin, which is why I'm making it a little bit thicker like that. We already have the color. And we can just do the end cap for both and fill the rest in. So already here we have somewhat of a shifting water sort of tunnel-like movement structure, which we can see what it looks like. This is a 16 by 16 right here. So here we can also see we have 1, 2, 3 pixels in the top, 1, 2, 3 pixels in the bottom, so it's centered. So already, whoop, already, we've got an animation. So that is the sideways one. So if we go back to the static sheet and do the grid here, that's this one, the one that's sideways. So now what we're going to do is we're going to need to do one that is an end cap. It's going to look like this. So somehow the water on the edge needs to be like rounded or something like that, or have an end to it. So rather than this, each of these is a frame. So that's a frame, and that's a frame. We're not going to edit them all. Actually, we might have to edit them all. Let's think how we want to do this. Because I was thinking I'll just copy this again and do the edge, but that doesn't really work. Well, let's start with this. Again, I'm doing this in GIMP. There are different, like, of course, sprite sheet programs, and probably the one I'm most familiar with is, man, I haven't used it in a long time. There's many out there. I can't remember the one I have on Steam. I use it a lot. Anyway, so here we just want this to look a little bit different on the edge. So every time right here, like these two frames. Now you can see these two frames are different. You can see the water flowing here. So if I just like changed these two frames a little bit, probably be enough. So we can just do a little copy paste action. So here, we just want this to kind of go in a little bit. This is erase, right? Everything. Isn't working. Control Shift A. There we go. That means you have to unselect something was selected. So you can move these to something like that. And if that's not apparent enough, you could even do it like that. Or if you wanted even more. I don't like the edge though. Or if you wanted to, if we wanted to take, oopsie, this color, and instead the edge piece be like this. It's not bad. And then we'll just do a take of this. It can always be rotated. And then we take that and put it here. Oh, that's interesting. We're gonna have to delete it too. I have an idea. So we're gonna want to delete these other pieces. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do an arbitrarily different color, like green. So this is the piece that's gonna be deleted. And we can do a color select later. So we're gonna take this, and we're just gonna add it to all the different frames. Now, some of the frames it might not work great on. And right now I just don't care. It'll be NT, not terrible. There we go. And now I just need to delete the green part. So you could just do this. That's probably fine. You could also do a color select, but we'll just use our little magic wand. It's not too many frames. Here we go. All right, and now we have one that is an end cap. Great. So the last one is going to be the trickiest one, and this is one that rotates, that changes direction, which is this piece. And this one needs to connect with our other pieces when it's rotated. So, how do you want to do this? This one we might have to do more work. Maybe be clever about it, maybe. Let's see. So we're going to take this. And move it down here as our base. Now this one's going to need to rotate in. And let's take a look at this to see. It also has the 3 on the bottom, so I'm trying to keep the same, you can see the same width here. You can verify that by saying this is a, 10 height. If we go over here, this is the same. It's 10. So what we can do is, this is our third one. We'll just say this is 1, 2, 3 over. And this is a 9. That's wrong. Should be 10 as well. Yes. So if we go over here, for our rotation, I'm just going to go ahead and make this black. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is going to be our rotation. So similar to this, could just do a very abrupt cut. It doesn't need to be perfect. Like that. And then it just cut through here. So what if we went like this? I keep right-clicking. Like, that's gonna be deleted, like, in the game. So that could be our water. Like that. And then, I don't know. The rest of this is deleted. And then we need a little bit of flow here. And then the rest is just filled in. Like that. Except it shouldn't be, the edges need to be fluid. So then this actually will be like this. Something like that. That looks pretty good. Now the trouble with that being true for everyone is that we have some of, you know, the actual animation of this ebbing and flowing. maybe the ends will just not have an animation. I mean, they could have like a little one. All right, we'll do our best. And by do our best, I mean we'll do it quickly. I have about 10 more minutes for this art project. We didn't put a timer on, but whatever. All right, so we're going to delete these. I think this is like 10 frames or something like that. Now this next one, does it look different? I can't tell. We'll put this one on like that. Alright, the next one definitely has something for the animation. There's more of that. There's like a little of this going on. Wait, what's that color? Oh, it's the outside color. Sure. Remember, this is just so it looks NT. Not terrible. Oh, I also have the corners here. Boop. 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 Okay. And then when we're done here, we're just going to swap in these guys for the existing ones. This one also has some of that. And then we'll be golden. We're going to have stuff that looks like water. And then if it's too dull, we can make it a little bit brighter. You can always adjust the color. All right, we're going to do something. We're just going to do the same thing over here. For this one. Yeah. We're just hacking some art. And then this one's also got the thing. It's a little different, but whatever. Zoop. So in the game, how do the sprite sheets work? Well, there are a couple classes that control sprites. Actually, multiple. One is just a sprite class, which is like a very basic thing to put a image on a screen. And when it takes a sprite, it's going to look at coordinates on a given sprite sheet. Those, the call to the sprite sheet is going to say, well, how wide and tall is it, and where is it located? And then it'll dynamically populate it and say, hey, this is where that is. This is what you should use from now on. There we go. Done. Animations do something similar, except they're going to look at a location on a point. Like these are going to look at these points on the grid. It's a 16 by 16 grid. And it's going to say, well, how many frames are there, and what is the speed of the animation? So we can also dictate how fast we want it to animate. You can also say whether it's a loop or whether it's not a loop. So we're going to do that. We're going to take off the grid lines, and we're going to export it. And I will prompt here. You're not seeing. It's fine. Okay, so that is in there. I actually haven't updated a sprite sheet in a long time. So I think there's one more thing I need to do, which I'm not going to bother trying to show on stream. Essentially, I just need to go in the project and make sure that the sprite sheet is implemented in the right location. Oh, I need to do the monogame pipeline. Well, I haven't done that in a long time. Yeah. It has been a long time. I've been doing so much level creation and coding that it's been a while since... So here we have the project open that you can see. I'm going to put it over here so I can make sure I'm showing it. In monogame, which this is built off of the monogame framework, if we go to content, there is this content file. I'm going to double click it. It can show this. It's supposed to show the editor. Open with. The monogame. What? No, it didn't. Choose the program you want to open with it. How about the monogame pipeline tool? There we are. There's our friend. You can't see it on screen, but whatever. It's not important. Essentially, this pipeline tool is how you get content into monogame. So all I'm going to do is we're updating our animated sprite sheet. I'm just going to add existing file. And we're just going to go to what? Oh. I forgot a step. Boop. All right, there we go. Oh my gosh. Click the right buttons. Okay, I did it. Trust me, trust me. All right, so we did our art in our GIMP, which is being overrun by Visual Studio. So now what we're gonna do is this sprite sheet is updated in my project without the grid lines. Grid lines are just for help. So we're gonna look to see where these guys are placed. which are the tracks, and we're going to change that art to be our new sprite. It's here. We might also have to do something where if we want to animate the tracks, we're going to need to do something extra, because right now those tracks are a static sprite, not an animated sprite. So we'll see if we need to do something there. We probably do. But regardless, we can make them blue. So we're going to close our game here, which is still running. And let's go ahead and put in our new sprites. So we have where do I do this? I think I remember. Do I remember? Sort of. Sort of, kind of. Alright, if I go to level builder, I think it's in level builder component. Yeah. Here's one for switch ball. So these are some specific switch ball ones. These are all the ones for the other stuff. If I just look for track, let me find it. Not these. No. What's it called? It's not the subway stuff. Connector? Alright, what we're going to do here is we're going to start it up again. And I'm just going to see what the name of it is, because I do not remember. So I just need to go here. When I select this, what is the name? Platform track middle. It is track. What? Platform track. Platform track. Where is it located? Oh. Wait, why is it down here? These components. Wait. Are for those objects. Wait, but why isn't this? I don't remember how my own code works. I have ones here at the bottom for platforms and tracks and stuff. But I also have... Oh, I think these components are just for art. So these level builder object components are literally just art. But because our tracks are doing more than just art, they're actually directing where platforms ought to go. They're an object. They're not just a component, which could just be a piece of art. And that's why they're located somewhere else. Which is cool. Yeah. So there's a type called a platform track. Okay, that's why they're here. Now we have platform track end, middle, and corner. So this is where we're going to define what sprite sheet it's on. Because before, these tracks were on the platform object sprite sheet, which we saw. Over here, this sprite sheet is the platform object sprite sheet. So we need to change it to the animated sprite sheet, which maybe I should have kept it on platform object because platform object still does have animations and whatever. but I'm moving it over here. Just because it aligns and I don't feel like moving it and doing the extra work right now on the stream. So the endpoint is this one. So the location is 368, 368. So when we're setting the sprite values, we're saying what are the source position? So it's 368. Oh my goodness. And it's not platform objects, it is non-interactive, animated. And we're going to call this hydro track. We'll just call it platform track. We know what it is. And here we can say it's an interactive object and it has a bunch of other attributes. It's a platform track object. Now this one is just, here's the animating sprite. And before, the sprite would not have an animation. But actually it does now. So this initialize is saying, hey, what's the frame width and the height, the count, and the time? Well, the width and the height is 16. So now we have to define what is the frame count. Well, if we go back to GIMP, we can see what the frame count is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 11? That's an interesting amount of frames. That's what we got. So it's 11. And then it's saying, well, how long of a time do you want to animate it? Kind of a base animation time is 150. I'm not going to go into what that is, but essentially it's how frequent it is. The lower the number is, how much faster things are animated. And I'm going to stop this too. It's running. So there you go. That's the end. And we don't need to change really anything else here. The other stuff that we're going to do is we're going to change the middle one too. So it's going to be very similar, where the location of it is just going to be this one. So it's 368, 352. So here it's going to be 368, 352. And it's also going to be on the animated sprite sheet because we moved it. And it's going to have the same frame rate and number of frames. And then the last one is just 16 lower than 368. So as you would expect, if we go back to our sprite sheet here, its first frame is on 368, 384. So here, we can even just copy this on if we wanted to. So 368, 384. And this is animated. And again, it has 11 frames and it's 150. So now we can go and see, well, what is a platform track? And our platform track's actually updating the animation. They're not, but we can go to an interactive object because they didn't have an animation before. And probably have something here. There it is, platform track. So this platform track is very, very simple. You can see it's almost nothing. On the update method, there's nothing to update because I think originally I created these tracks thinking that the tracks would dictate what's going on, but then it ended up being the platforms themselves which dictate how they move along the track. But they do have something called an anchor rectangle, which is set, and then we're drawing it. Now here it's just going to draw it to the sprite batch. It's not actually doing an animated draw. In order to update it, I think these platform tracks are being updated. We just need to go ahead and update the track sprite animation. But here we can see we don't even have an animating sprite for this. It is a normal sprite. So let's go into our core level and see, are we updating the platform tracks at all? So we're going to do track. It's clearing them out. We are updating them. So if they exist, they're being updated. Nothing's happening right now. And if we go back to our level builder, we are indeed setting them up. So here we can see we're initializing. Oh, this is just the icon. So we're setting the sprite, the object. All right, so we're going to see where these are actually being set up. Because right now, it's just passing in the sprite. So we might actually need to do this again for the animation. But before we go ahead and test out the animation, let's just see whether the sprites themselves are appearing. So let's go ahead and run it. Now what I would expect is that the icons look like it. But when you place it down, it's still going to look like the old object. We gotta minimize Visual Studio. And we'll just go to a blank level. Test this out. So if I go to the level editor, you can see now we have our different icons. We have the corner, the end, and the middle. But when I place it down, it's going to look like the old one. And that's because when we place it, we need to dictate what sprite's being put out. What we were updating was just the level editor's icons. So we'll go ahead and close the game. And in the level builder, we're going to look for a platform track. So we'll bring the level builder over here. And we'll just look for a platform track here. Okay. So there's a few locations here. And right down here is where we're doing it. So we're going to see whether something already exists. If it doesn't already exist in that location, we're going to switch the type that we're sending out, whether it's an end, middle, or corner, and it's setting the sprite values for track sprite. Let's create a new one with that, and it's adding it to the level. So what we need to do is we need to change this sprite to be an animating sprite, and then update everything else from that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say, no, this is actually an animating sprite. And here we're going to say this is an animating sprite. All good. And here when this draws, this is going to actually overload into an animating sprite. So it's automatically going to change what method it's going to. So as long as we pass in an animating sprite, I think it'll automatically do it. We can now also say here, track sprite dot update. And we just pass in game time. Easy as that. Now if we go back to our level builder, this is going to be an animating sprite. And animating sprites are a little bit different. In that they're going to be setting the sprite values. And then we also need to initialize them like we did down below with the icon. And you can see some other examples of here, I think, where we're doing that for other objects here. So you can see there's an initialize method. So we'll just copy this over for each of these. So we'll do the first one. So our track sprite, we already know that it's supposed to be in the animated sprite sheet. And if you remember, the end one was 368, 368. It is a 16 by 16. Each of these true is whether we should loop it. So you can see at the end, bool looping and bool active. So it's always going to be active and it will always be looping. Our object position, we're just going to set it there. Our frame width and height is 16 by 16. And what's interesting about this setting the sprite values, we actually need to set the sprite values of the whole animation. So the whole width of the panels. So it's actually going to be 16 times 11, because if this is 11 panels, it's 11 times 16 wide. So if you go down to our portals here, you can see one is an 81 by 32 with 6 frames, or 6 panels. So 6 times 81 is how we got 46. So if we're going to go back up here, we need to do 11 times 16. What's 11 times 16? Well, we could do math, but you could just say 10 times 16 is 160. And then 1 times 16 is 16 plus 160 is 176. And now we're good to go. We initialize it at the object's position. It's animated. And this is the right location. Our middle one was one above it. So this was essentially the same thing. We can just copy this whole thing. It's only slightly different. And that instead of 368, it's at 352. And then the same for the bottom one. So instead of 368, it's at 384. And there we go. We instantiated them all. Our new platform track is going to take this track sprite. Sometimes we call them animations. So like if I wanted to, I could rename this. Let's say this is actually a track animation. And now it should, one, when you put it in from the level builder, it's going to put it in there like that. And then two, over here, now that it's an animation, we're going to update the animation. And it should draw according to that animation, overloading what we're passing in. You can also see here, we're actually not using sprite batch. Instead of using game instance, that's sprite batch. I'm not going to go into details there, but it's it's fine. All right, I'm just going to turn off the sound here. Okay. So we will minimize this. Let's see if it worked. Okay, so we are going to go in here. We're going to grab our middle one. And does it animate? We're currently not inactive, so I don't see anything animating. We'll put one on the end, which is hard to see, not gonna lie. That at least does align. And if I start the level, will it look like it's animating at all? Yeah, it is. Look. You can kind of see a flow, an ebb and flow a little bit here of it contracting. Now the ones on the ends, the corners, don't look good. It's kind of just flashing. But you can see a little bit of an ebb and flow of the inner. Hooray! So now we can go to any of our levels that have hydro, and we should be able to see it. Alright, there we go. So if we start this up, what does it look like? There we go. It's moving on water. It's great. Let's do a more complex one. Uppy downies. See? At least it's blue now. You got the rotational one. All right. Interlocking. Look at that. Boom. We got water. It worked. Hooray. So, there you go. Art quest completed. It's so hard to see here. Oh wait, that's not the right one. Quest. Here's our quest. We should have made it bold. There we go. This was our art quest. We did it! It took about 45 to 50 minutes. That's about right. We made a water animation. Cool. I think I'm going to end there today. I got a lot of other stuff going on today. I think it'd be wise to end now. A little bit early, but it's okay. So today we made 2 new levels. We made a hydropower level, which we'll play to end it. Hydro 15, which we forgot to rename. Now it looks funny because it's in there. And we also made our light level. And we implemented the new hydro animation, which is great. It looks so funny. Wee. Surely there's a quick way of doing this. Nope, not like that. So I am not going to be streaming the next 2 days. Why? Because it's PAX Unplugged. Let's go in Philadelphia. Woo! I'm going to be at PAX Unplugged Friday and Saturday. We'll not have time to stream. So, if you see me at PAX, say hi. Not that many people know about me yet, so if you're the lucky few, I'll see you at PAX tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. I'll be there all 3 days. But pretty good progress today. Made a couple levels, not quite 3, but the little art project worked out decently. Went pretty smoothly. And this is just some better temporary art, so you can at least see that it's hydropower and that's water, and that it shows. It's easier to see the pathways of the bricks. So I wonder some other levels that actually use like a lot of stuff, like a mega. What is one that uses like the choo-choos? Oh, I guess you can't really see it because it's... Oh, there was even an extra... I didn't even realize that, an accidental track. There you go. What other one uses motion? Maintenance? No. Transflexigration? No. I don't have that many that use moving yet. And, here. I guess I have here just a light meme. Boom! What a way to end it. As always, thanks to all who tuned in. Thanks to all who will be watching this later on Twitch and YouTube. I will see you guys on Monday, where we're going to be diving back into... Is it Monday? Yeah. Monday's Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime 2. So, as always, love you guys. Jesus loves you too. I'll talk to you next time. Peace. Boop, boop.